When it comes to grocery shopping, there is so much to think about. We've got the quality of food, we have our nutrition labels, where it comes from, and of course the cost. And that is a big one. It can be quite confusing, especially with so many varied price points. So how do you know where to save and where to splurge? Food expert Andrea Bucket is here to help. Thank you so much for clearing up the confusion.
Yes, this is exciting. I love this.
You and I were just talking, it's hard when you're budgeting to know like where your extra couple of dollars should go and where they really don't have to.
Yeah, and I feed 2 boys, like essentially they're grown men, so to feed them, it costs me a lot of money. So I want to make sure that I'm spending my money in the right places.
Okay, and we've got kind of your grocery list staples here. We're starting first with chicken.
Yeah, so chicken, Canadians love chicken. It's probably one of our most favorite proteins. I'm sure you know everyone's always looking for chicken recipes. So would you, in the grocery store, Kelsey, save or splurge on chicken?
I splurge.
Would you splurge? Why would you splurge?
I don't know, if it's meat, it feels important. I feel like lots of money has to go into it.
Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna do the reveal here.
Okay.
So mine is actually to save.
Really?
So what I would say about chicken, and people need to know, because I think they have some misinformation, is that all chickens raised in Canada are raised without hormones, period.
So the labels that say it has no hormones, that's just a marketing thing?
It's a misnomer, and actually when you see the label, it'll have a little thing underneath that says, like all Canada's chickens, all Canada's chickens. So yeah, don't pay for the hormone-free chicken. Get regular raised chickens. We have really high standards in Canada, some of the highest in the world. So know that when you reach for chicken, you can save your money and still put a good piece of nutritious chicken on your table.
Okay, next up we have seafood and fish. And this one, like, I'm just going right for it and say you got to splurge because it's so expensive.
It is expensive. So I will tell you, here we go with the reveal. You're right, it's a splurge.
Okay.
So the reason I say splurge here is because our oceans are in trouble, right? And fish farming, it's a hard thing to get a balance of. But what you want to look for and what you want to splurge on are things that are sustainable. So know that 20% of seafood in your grocery store can be mislabeled. So when you reach for something that's sustainable with like the MSC label, it's a little blue label, they can trace where it's come from, and then it's also farmed and fished in a way that's responsibly sustainable. So, our oceans are really, really important. We know that they're really in trouble. So it's a good place to spend a little extra money at the grocery store.
Yeah, your dollar goes a little bit extra for the product, but also for the future.
100%.
Okay, cheese is up next.
Yes.
Oh,
everyone's favorite.
One.
I know. I know.
Save. Okay, save. I'll say save.
I'm gonna say splurge.
What? Really?
Yeah, I know. You have little kids too, so I know if they're going through like big blocks of cheddar, you're saving. I understand. But for me, the quality comes in the flavor, and so I always find when you buy something that's really quality driven, that's aged a little bit longer, you get a lot more flavor. It melts a lot better, and you need less of it in the end, right? So if you think about Parmesan, for instance, we all have seen those shakers of Parmesan. Don't reach for the Parmesan. Buy the piece of Parmesan that might be $10, but will go a lot longer, and when you grate it yourself at home.
Okay, that's really fair. I was actually in Quebec last week talking about cheese, and I know I should have known that.
Exactly, yeah, and we make some great cheeses here in Canada.
We do.
So awesome.
Eggs, they can go anywhere from like $1 to $8.
Right, and this is actually we could do a whole segment on eggs, right?
Seriously.
There's so much information, right?
I'm gonna say splurge.
Splurge. Here we go.
Oh, of course it is.
Save, right. So eggs come in a variety of prices. They also come with a variety of labels. What consumers need to know is that chicken farmers raise them all locally. They all come fresh. The only time you might want to pay a little bit more for your eggs is if you want something higher in omega-3. Because what they have to do is that they have to give their chickens flaxseed and marigold, things to up that omega-3. So if you want that nutrient, buy it a little bit more expensively. But otherwise, we have so much choice in Canada in terms of our eggs. Go for the ones that are less expensive. I buy the 18-pack. My boys go through them, and they're just as nutritious as something that you're buying at the higher end.
Okay, good to know. What about ice cream? For all our dessert lovers out there, I know. I feel like this is, I don't know, I feel like I've been wrong with every one of them. I'm just gonna say splurge. Just spend all your money on ice cream.
Right.
What are we saying?
You're splurging. So I will say, listen, because I have 2 boys, if you're having a birthday party for kids, you're definitely going to want to save. You're going to go buy that big tub of ice cream. But for people who love their ice cream, again, we're thinking about quality of ingredients. So that's typically cream, the flavors, and then cheaper ice cream actually has air whipped into it. So a lot of the time, you are paying for air.
You're paying for air?
Right.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and of course, the quality flavors like strawberry and cocoa, they cost a lot of money. They take a bit more work for the manufacturers to get that mouthfeel right, as opposed to if you added something like a strawberry essence, that's less expensive.
Okay, Andrea, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm paying for air. Come on.